It is 15 days to go to the governorship elections in Edo State. The Inter-Party Advisory Council (IPAC) has preached a raising of the bar for elections in Edo and Ondo states to further earn more public trust in the country's democratic process, just as the Labour Party held extended stakeholders meeting and appointed new caretaker committee to broker peace amongst aggrieved members as part of strategies ahead of the 2027 general elections. Also, political update: National Economic Council reconstitutes the Committee on Mitigation and Adaptation to alleviate the plight of affected states. Also have a conversation on the Edo State governorship election with a governorship candidate in the course of this program. I'm excited for you. Political update. Welcome. The National Economic Council has reconstituted the Committee on Flood Mitigation and Adaptation to alleviate the plight of affected states. The Council has endorsed the N74 program as a primary platform for combating malnutrition in the country.
This is the 144th National Economic Council meeting and the 6th in the year 2024, chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima, with governors and other stakeholders. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, on behalf of the state governors, commended the federal government on the flood situation intervention support fund, 3 billion naira to each state.
More devastating along this axis where the major artery between Kano and Medu has been cut, with devastating effect on households, schools, bridges, and other means of livelihoods. Lives were lost, and a lot of properties were also destroyed.
One deadline for the states of the Federation to submit detail of damages, including farms, schools that have been affected by the flood. And Mr. Chairman mentioned it will be taken into consideration for appropriate support to the various states.
On issues of healthcare services, the National Economic Council, the N77 as a primary platform for combating malnutrition in Nigeria, as a partnership among the 3 tiers of government.
To political matters now, the Labour Party in its extended stakeholders meeting held on Wednesday in Umuahia, Abuja State, appointed Senator Nadi Usman as the chairman of the caretaker committee that will, among other functions, broker peace as well as unify members ahead of the 2027 general elections.
Gathered at the banquet hall of the Abuja State Government House in Umuahia are officials of the Labour Party from across the country. The essence of their meeting is to get a leadership to be recognized by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
We're just trying to set up just a small committee that will help to do what we want, the right thing, which will be just a period of maybe 90, 120 days. We want everything we're going to do to end as quickly as possible, so that we'll be able to know what we're doing. So we're not trying to set up another leadership. No, we're not trying to do this. It's just a system that we have to get to where we're going.
Following the end of the tenure of the National Working Committee of the party, which they noted has created a vacuum, a 29-member caretaker committee led by Senator Nadi Usman was set up.
Because INEC does not recognize the working committee, National Working Committee that existed, they conducted primaries and selected candidates. They will not list those candidates in those off-cycle elections.
The caretaker committee is to immediately ensure that the board, local government, state and national congresses and convention of the Labour Party are held as soon as possible in accordance with the constitution of the Labour Party.
The meeting organizers marks the beginning of a new Labour Party in Nigeria.
Now, the Inter-Party Advisory Council (IPAC) says there is no substitute for free, fair, and peaceful elections as the success of the September 21 and 16 2024 governorship polls in Edo and Ondo states will go a long way in restoring more trust in the democratic process and representative governance in Nigeria. This was at the Council's General Assembly meeting ahead of the upcoming office and elections.
Really, what we do is
the Interparty Advisory Council IPAC this meeting deliberated on the upcoming Edo and Ondo state governorship elections. Chairman of the council, Yusuf Maman, disclosed that members would be in the Edo and Ondo states when lighting the stakeholders to ensure peaceful elections.
try to see what we can do. We are doing it and we'll continue to do what we can to deepen democracy, to have all on board, especially the youth of Nigeria.
He expressed IPAC commitment to sanitizing the democratic process for successful elections and political stability, emphasizing Nigerians want to see an impressive turnout in September and November 2024 Edo and Ondo states governorship elections.
All right, we would have joined live shortly your Progressive Guard Alliance, that's our governorship candidate in the forthcoming Edo State governorship election very shortly, and we'll start our conversation as well a short while. Let's take this next story because I would want him to react to that as well. The factional national chairman of the All Progressive Guard Alliance, ABGA, says the appeal court has granted it leave to appeal its case to the Supreme Court. Addressing the media at its Abuja Secretariat, Sly pointed to various court judgments that authenticated his position as national chairman of the party.
Explained that over time, the All Progressive Alliance ABGA has been grappling with litigation to establish the rightful leader of the party, which has also recorded several subsistent court judgments. Sly Okenwa claims that ABGA as a party was not joined at the FCT High Court, and for that, filed an appeal against the recent appeal court judgment on the 24th of June 2024, which affirmed the judgment of the Buhari High Court.
ABGA and myself were granted leave to appeal. And in coming to this conclusion, the and erudite Honorable Moses Mohammed Danjuma did state that it is very apparent that from the judgment of the Court of Appeal, that the issues on the national chairmanship or the leadership of ABGA, and then it's really hard to how the political party whose leadership was in question was excluded from the proceedings at both FCT High Court and the Court of Appeal.
Edukawa says what the court did was to uphold the court judgment recognizing the 2019 convention, which elected him in the past as national chairman, Chief Victor Oye, into office.
We've consistently maintained that the Court of Appeal or the Supreme Court never pronounced a dossier as national chairman of ABGA.
He expresses dissatisfaction over what he describes as INEC's role in the matter.
INEC, purporting to rely on the judgment, accorded recognition to a stranger who has absolutely no business with ABGA by saying that he was a national chairman of ABGA, and they did without any communication to us.
Sly Okenwa is confident that the ABGA under the leadership of Governor Chukwuma Soludo will continue to deliver good guidance in Anambra State, despite he describes distraction from those working against the interests of the party and the people.
All right, joining us via Zoom now from Benin, Edo State, is the ABGA chairman, ABGA governorship candidate. Hopefully, we'll get him on now. I understand he's there. So we're talking to Isaiah of ABGA, a candidate in the coming elections. Just about 15 days to go. How optimistic are you in terms of your ability to scale the hurdles in the polls and emerge victorious on the other side?
Thank you. Listen to the parties,
up their minds, making up their minds and taking decisions to vote for. It's unique by fact.
It seems as if we are losing you, as we try and get you back, as also just stay with us. We will come back to you very shortly. In terms of the connection seems to be a little bit slow today, but we will come to you very shortly. We to clear some issues with us. But while we're waiting, the 2024 FOCAC Summit, as President Xi Jinping of China has announced 10 new partnership plans to facilitate shared common goals between China and Africa.
24 years have gone by since the People's Republic of China joined the League of Suitors in Africa's partnership for a right of a sustained development. All along, the interest of the partners is to drive common vision for greater developments. The 9th Summit of the Development Forum found the need to assess the gains of the past partnership and set new goals to ensure future fortunes.
As we celebrate the achievements earlier mentioned, it is important also to reflect on the way forward.
China's partnership with the African continent is the main pillar of South-South cooperation. Your joint efforts, based on the United Nations Charter, can create a new momentum for African development.
And now, with parties yet satisfied with the journey of joint ventures, China announced a new partnership action plan with Africa, which among other aims are to build an all-weather China-Africa community, jointly promote modernization.
To implement partnership actions, the Chinese government will provide 360 billion yuan, or about $50 billion of an annual support through the next 3 years.
Common aspirations have seemingly found new vigor to drive a more rewarding future as members of the forum welcome new course of action for the partnership.
In the 10 actions that Xi Jinping has pronounced, we find that all of them are in line with the implementation of the Agenda 2063. And we thank China for focusing on Africa's development.
All right, from China with love, or shall we say with business. But let's move now back to our discussion. And I still have our guest Isatufo joining us from Benin, since Azuma. Let's just go to the questions. It's a company told you plans of growing the grassroots. Give the opportunity. It's just that all right, we're still trying to get to him, so connection. Okay, he's back. Go,
please. My chances are bright, and we are optimistic in Abuja who have the state, because they are desirous of democracy and looking at the credentials of those that are contesting for the office. My credentials in pro-democracy activities and so are far ahead of another contestant. My public service experience, my informal training and public policy, all this put together, knowing that the people will go for the best in terms of antecedents, in terms of content of the candidate, in terms of the reputation, democratic credentials of the candidate. We are optimistic that when they go out there for the best, I will be elected because I'm obviously the best in all areas of electoral assessment of the candidates that are asking for this office. So they've done it before. We hope they're going to do it that in the context of 4 persons, 5 persons, the people of Edo State will go for the best. We are the best. I am the best in public service experience, in academics, in antecedent records of service, record of community leadership. So all all departments, apart from money bags, evil of money bags, who believe that electorates are a commodity to be purchased. When you remove that aspect of the evil of money bag and you want to go for merit, it's a public policy experience and policy delivery. I am policy the best, and Abuja, we have the day. If we hope and we pray that the umpire will conduct a free and fair election. So anybody who wishes to elect the candidate of their choice.
All right, let's look at some of the issues you've spoken about of economic readiness of your state. What are your plans in terms of plans now? It's about the path in terms of what to revitalize it economically.
Corporate plan reflected in our campaign for democracy. 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 The rule of law, that announcement. The rule of law to farm land without a agreement reached between the farm and government in as well. If you have a law, government will be transparent and accountable. So we have foundation which the qualities were involved. For instance, the high cost of food items in the market. We are a society. It's no food. That was the fund was established and about we benefit over 8,000 that we more than enough for the constituents. That is 6 and because so it's right but all these for 8 years and elections I want refugees in those we are not refugees. It has become more. I cannot understand it. You don't produce. You don't give them 5 kg bag of rice. I develop my local government. The local government is have plantation farm all fully by government out of 18 areas. So look at development. It will be the farmers and consumers to have government right. Just more. Packaging of trades. I don't know where I'm from. Where the bank you have to come produce. Look at our road. Look at Paco. And those is blessed all to do. We have a lot of stores. The whole of it don't there to to food stores. I will saying not good need to do all those are impossible in those states. You cannot travel from out to out there. You cannot travel from out to below, from out to Sakara. You cannot travel to you cannot travel to people. There are so much raw materials, human material resources available to you. They address the issue of decentralize the issue of works. It will be local or each lawmaker based on this and the support of this way. Each lawmaker do that wrong. It's not attracting that one will be looking for one big national company come out a few kilometers, millions of naira. We're going to provide equipment, go into partnership with road software and train them to operate this equipment and do those in their various government. More people the so that the other system I've been part of such a long time. As chairman of council, I work for my board for history. Why have we not pardon our students in the midst of this high cost of living? History is to support students. Past 16 years, why about university? in Nigeria that the black market 5%. You bring it there, people in Nigeria struggling. The time has come for us to have personal reforms. You know, a little is unaffordable.
As I say, for brand, but I need all these concepts are great. But you know, you also need support of your party members, and you saw one of the there's still some level of issue by the national level of leadership and all. You get the support from the party at the national level.
Look at the focus of my policy. So committed to this. And when I look at the party, debate over who is the leader and order. Sometimes it's imagination.
All right, Zael Sifu, time on the program, but I'm sure you've made your point. Zael Sifu is the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, and it will be, his name is on the ballot sheet for elections in 15 days. But maybe just ask a question. If you were to ask you, what to expect? Maybe first year of the opportunity, what we need to expect at
cost is law and democracy. Is guarantee. You don't need money to expect. The ability.
All right, we're losing signals from you, but I think you've made your point. That has been political update for today. Earlier in the last month and for a couple of weeks now, we focus on Edo State, and we will still also go to Ondo State as well and speak to the candidates. We've spoken to Paul Okongbowa of the YPP. We've spoken to other candidates also in the key. Also on the show, hopefully on Tuesday, we'll bring you yet another candidate gone in for the position of governor, GRA Benin City, and coming on to share ideas with Edo indigenes and perhaps hoping to also capture imagination with just a fortnight to D-Day. That's been political update for today. We're back again on Tuesday for a fresher package. Between now and then, play your party for the great good and keep it locked on the Nigerian Television Authority, Africa's largest and financial news reviews, previews, and interviews. And for those who will be a part of those elections, make sure you have your PVCs. If you have moved them from one point to the other, track them, and then you the exercise. I'm Fisa Agufi. Thank you for staying tuned. All the best. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye now.